Okay, so the main plan for today is quite a bit, and I did make a little separate video on it that I'm gonna be adding into this one after a bit. But essentially we're gonna be expanding the terrain and getting to building the Halloween city. So this is kind of a laid out plan for what is going to happen. Right now we have this main layer, which will remain mostly unchanged, maybe a little tweak in the empty spaces right there and there. And then there's this level right here where the Halloween build is. It's been demolished, but it will be rebuilt. And then there is the arena. The arena hasn't been built, but it has been extended, and it will be completely built out of the new temple block to fit sort of a theme. And then there is the in-between area right here. This all will be filled in with grass, and it'll make an even level staircase between these two areas as to not make a steep dropped decline. Later, there will be builds extended back here, maybe from the arena, but mostly from the main base of the Aqua and Magma teams, with the Aqua team being underground and to this river, and the Magma team being across the whole mountain in this direction, and maybe they'll meet up right here with some temples built back here for things like the legendary birds, or maybe Lugia and Ho-Oh. Basically anything that can be, any legendary that's going to be able to spawn by the player themselves are going to be back here, as long as we have the items for it. Otherwise, we will have to travel to any known temple locations, which we do have quite a few, but this is the main gist of the future plans for building right now. Another thing I did was I added the replay mod, and I've been tweaking with it all day. I've been editing it a little bit. Hopefully it should be functional now. If it isn't, I might just do jump cuts instead of a full time-lapse, but it should be a proper time-lapse, you know, speed, and have the camera float around and everything. I'm not sure if I'll actually get to the museum part or the Colosseum, but the main focus of today is going to be working on the city and the terrain. Okay, that's the first plot done. I did run out of dirt, so the other plots will have to be done a little bit later, in different chunks. So it's not going to be a complete time-lapse now. But the next step of the plan is to kind of do a layout of each building. I'm going to do little holes in the ground to kind of plot out what the style of the building is. There's going to be one really big building with a certain entrance, and then I'm also going to have a pathway like this go through, and probably about halfway through that plot there, turn, and then go this way, and this is going to go somehow down into the city. Have a bit of a layout here. This is going to be houses, each varying colors. And then this is the start of a different project that'll connect to this. Once I expand this, I'm going to expand this off camera, and that's when this project will start. Okay, so I have it all color coordinated now, and I'm going to start building. that's the basic shells of the buildings for now. Next will be decorations, glass, any tweaks to the ceilings, like if there's a second floor and some of these taller ones, I might make it so that there's also like the balcony windows or whatever. And then I'm also gonna have to get more dispensers in between these recordings here, so that I can off camera I'm gonna set up all of the redstone for all of the dispensers. Basically, there's gonna be a button. It's gonna have the dispensers. It's gonna open the doors. It's gonna also ring a bell if I have enough. I think I have enough bells for each and every house here. Okay, I've done a majority of the lighting, except for the houses that don't have a solid block in the middle. Those will get lighting inside the house, and there will also be lighting across the entirety of the town using jack-o'-lanterns. Okay, so I have the lighting set up, and now I'm going to work on outside decoration, and then I'll move into the interior decoration. I think the last thing I'm going to do is windows. I'm going to try to get glass panes that either match the color of the house or have some form of color contrast. That way it kind of stands out. Alright, I decided to go with red glass, as that's a complementary color to basically the whole palette here. I've used a majority of my decorations. I do need some more doors and some more dispensers, but I'll also do the redstone off screen. It will be functional. Each of them should hopefully have a bell. I'm pretty sure I have a bell for each of the houses here. And then I will add the rest of the doors and maybe touch up any extra needed decorations off screen. Most of the things might be tables, doors, and dispensers is just about all I need for some of these. And maybe if I manage to get a wither skeleton skull, I might place those around as well. And maybe more pumpkins, but for now, I think this is a pretty decent looking thing. I might need to work on the outside a little bit more, maybe plants or maybe pots with wither roses in them, maybe hanging from the edges of the roofs, or maybe just on the ground in front of some of the doors. And any ideas are welcome in the comments if you want to give any ideas. I'm not great with themed builds. I mostly just I mostly build like medieval style things, so whenever I try to do themed holiday builds like this, it can be a bit difficult, although I know at least that I can get a color palette, but when it comes to mods that add some blocks, like these mushroom blocks and stuff, I do get a little lost in what to use, but I'd say I did a decent job. I might need more like fairy lights hanging around some of the buildings, but yeah, and it should be finished off by what I have planned here. We'll go this way, and hopefully it kind of ties the whole thing together. If it doesn't, I might add another build in there that fits the same theme. I'm not sure what it would be, but I could probably figure out what else could go there on top of what I already have planned.